Welcome back to Small Batch Miniatures Games. My name is Raymond, and today we're having another game of the Silver Bayonet Egypt by Joseph McCulloch. So this is a gothic horror game set during the time of Napoleon. Today there's not going to be a whole lot of horror unless you count the French showing up. So I painted a bunch of French guys for sharp practice, which is another game I hope to get on the channel. Wanted to use them. That's one of the nice things about historical wargaming, is you can use them in one game, use them in another game very, very easily. The French are making their way down the Nile when they come across a ruin full of bandits. Well, that's the exact time that my warband decides to wander in. The French mistake my warband for bandits. There are some real bandits too that are going to be fighting my warband, and the French set up in position and start a devastating volley fire over the area. This is a custom scenario that I came up with, and I hope you enjoy it. If you like learning about new games, make sure and subscribe to Small Batch Miniatures Games. I'll see you on the other side. My Ottoman force is going to be starting over here behind this ruin, across from a force of bandits who I'm going to be playing basically kind of like I would if I was playing, a multiplayer game here. So I'm going to be sort of moving them up and just playing them like another team. Now there's a third force that you may have noticed in this scenario, and this is going to be the French, who have shown up, spotted some bandits in the ruins, and have decided to flush them out with volley fire. And so during this scenario, the French will be taking turns. They're not going to move forward. They're not really, they're here kind of more for decoration to represent volley fire coming in off the edge of the board. And so in the enemy phase, when I would normally be activating mummies and stuff like that, and skeletons and stuff like that, the French will either take turns firing or reloading after they've already fired, which I'll mark with some poofy smoke over there. And they are going to be able to hit anything that is perpendicular to them along the board here. Now, these windows, doors I'll let them shoot through, but windows, we're going to pretend like those are solid walls, solid wall here. They will, both the bandits and I will be getting cover with these ruins and some of these small things. But other than that, if you get stuck out there in the sand, you're going to be in trouble. These ruins are going to count as difficult ground, so they're going to slow you down. And there are 5 different points of treasure scattered about that I'll be drawing for. This one's really exposed, so that's going to be a dangerous one to go for. Other than that, there is a special rule for this scenario just to make it a little more interesting. It's called shifting sands, and anytime a character makes a run, so they move forward their normal 6, and they want to continue a little bit further, maybe get to that all-important cover. When they make a run, if they roll a double, they can't move any further. They're stuck where they're at. They slip and fall in the sand and are potentially exposed to French volley fire. So I'm going to get started here, and I'm going to move, it's going to be turn 1. I'm going to move the first of my warband out, first half of them, and then we'll have the bandits all activate and the French fire. So my native scout is going to run through this door right here, and he's going to come out and start heading for this closest treasure up there. He will go ahead and try a run here, almost a double, but that's going to let him go 2 more inches. And he is going to have cover once those French open fire. We will go ahead and move my leader out 6, right to around here. Now, he's going to want to stay where he's at, because even with a 4-inch move, that would leave him way out here where he can get shot at by the French. This irregular is going to follow along, and then we have one other irregular over here. He's going to follow where my native scout went and go 2 more inches, so he's going to be right behind the native scout there. Everybody is good for cover there, and so we're going to start the enemy turn And it's going to start with the French opening fire. Pow, 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 pow. Now there's nobody in line of sight right now, but that could change later. So, all right, the French have fired. The enemy get to move now. So the way I'm going to do this is the guys who are in a running pose, I'm going to be more sort of aggressive with them and probably try and get them into combat. And the guys who are the shooting pose are going to kind of hold back and take pot shots at my team. So we've got this guy who will move around here. I'm going to play this. Normally creatures don't run, but I'm playing this kind of like another warband. So I'm going to let him try to make a run here. He's going to try and secure that treasure up there. Not take it, but just, you know, guard it from my warband. This guy will follow along and go another 2 inches. This guy is going to go the full 6 and take a run. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. This guy's going to move around these boxes. Also take a run. He gets to go 4 more. And then we've got our shooters back here. So I'll move up behind these boxes and take a shot. I'll have to check that range first, but I'm pretty sure he can shoot. So that is 12, 24. How about line of sight? I'll say he doesn't have it actually. So in that case, he is going to do a run and just go 2 more like this. This guy's going to move up, do a run, and go 2 more. These shooters right here, they'll go up there 6, and 2 more, and 4 more. Okay, that's going to be the bandits, and the rest of my warband gets to activate now. You have two guys with muskets, so they've got a 24-inch range. So yeah, I should be able to get at least a shot this turn. I will bring up my Janissary. He's going to come out and he is going to put a shot right across the field into this guy. It will be at -2 because he moved and there's cover in the way, but it's going to be +1 because of the Janissary's shooting skill. So let's see what we got here. That is going to be a 14. That will do it. It's going to do 3 damage to this guy. He's down to 7. He gets a choice. He can either return fire or move. I think since he's loaded, he's going to return fire. And so he is going to fire his musket. It's going to be at -2 because of the cover. And that's not going to hit. I've got an infantryman here. I think he's going to run out and do the same thing. So it's going to be a very similar situation with the cover and movement. But this time he scores a hit for 10, and this guy's taken out of the game. I've got my Sheik over here who's going to come out 6 and try to keep moving. And he'll go 2 more. And my doctor's going to do something similar. And go 2 more. All right, that's the end of turn 1. We will go into turn 2 here. I will get to move half of my unit. My native scout moves up to this treasure, and he is going to claim it with his second part of his action. It's a jack. The jack means a snake swarm shows up within an inch of me. Awesome. Thankfully my irregular here is prepared for snakes. He does have a salt bag that he picked up earlier in the campaign, and so he's going to load the salt into one of his pistols and fire at these snakes. The snake swarms are pretty impervious to most anything. A big batch of salt blasted at them does do the trick though. That definitely goes through the snake's defense. They have a health of 6. I did 8 damage with that salt, so these snakes are no more. Very nice. And after that shot, I'm just going to have that irregular reload. That'll be the end of his activation. Got 2 more activations here, and I need to make it across this gap before the French are able to fire again. So I think I'm going to bring my Janissary up. He's okay in combat and in shooting, and then he's going to make a run And move forward 2 more. Then I'll bring my leader up. And he's going to go up 4 more. That'll be everyone that I can activate right now. The French activate, and they just get to reload right now. Over to the bandits. We've got bandit with a rifle right here. He is going to shoot over at my leader, who's going to get cover. Just a -1. That's not going to do anything. This bandit will reload. This bandit is going to go up 6. Now he doesn't want to take a shot because then he'll be standing right in the line of the French volley next turn. So he has no choice but to do a run here. And he gets a doubles, so he is stuck exactly where he's at. This is one of the aggressive rebels. So he is going to come up and get into combat with my commander. And he's going to take a swing here. No bonuses. That's a 12. That is not going to be enough to get through my leader's defense of 14. My leader gets a slap back. My leader has a melee of 2 here. Even with the +2, it's not going to get through. This 1 killed me, so that's not going to get through his defense. So he just has to step back a little bit. Our shooters need to activate here, so I'm going to run up with this guy, and he is going to take a shot point blank at my leader. Let's see what he can do. That's a 14. That's just enough. And so that is going to do 5 damage to my leader. This bandit is going to come up, his 6, and he is going to also take a shot at my leader. That's going to miss, thankfully. And then I've got 2 over here, so they are going to both move up their 6. They're staying behind this cover from the French, and they're both going to unload on my leader. Now this guy's going to be at a -2. He still gets the hit there though, and my leader takes 9 damage and is slain. Oh no. Well, one more rifleman's going to come up and take a shot at my Janissary. He's going to be a -1 for this, and that's not going to hit, thankfully. The rest of my crew get to activate. I have my infantryman just stand where he is, reload, and shoot. He's going to shoot across at this closest guy who does not have any cover right now. So I'm going to get a +1 here. That will do it. He's going to take 7 damage. He's going to be down to 3. Just got pistols with these guys, so they need to get in closer. They're going to have to hope they don't roll doubles on a run here. So we've got 6 inches, a run, and he gets 2 more. So he's going to avoid that French fire next time. My magician's going to do the same. He gets to move 4 up. And then my medic here gets to move 2 up. All right, so end of turn, it's going to go back to me, and I get to choose 4 figures to activate. This is where I really don't want to be caught in the open. So let's take a look here. If I can go out and get into combat with these guys, I should be good as long as I'm not able to be shot through the door. So I think that's going to be the play here. We're going to get real aggressive. So we've got an irregular. He's going to run up his 6, and he is going to do a run here. He can move 2 more inches. That is enough to put him into combat. With this guy, he takes a swing. He's got a +1 here. That will go through. He's got a hand weapon, so it's just going to be 3 damage though. And this bandit's going to swing back. He misses completely. He's pushed back 1 inch. I've got my wizard here who is going to he's going to go ahead and move into combat. So he's going to come in, he's going to swing a book at this guy. He does not get a hit, and the bandit gets to swing back. The bandit definitely hits him. Nazim takes 7 points of damage and is pushed back 1 inch here. And That's going to put him right in the line of fire. My doctor, I don't know if he's doing anything. Let's see, I've got one more activation. I better make it the Janissary. And so he's going to move up 6. He is going to go for a run. He cannot move any further. He rolled doubles. So he is stuck there. The French unload another fusillade. All right, it strikes everybody who is parallel to that side of the board. So that is going to be this bandit, my Sheik here, and this bandit right here. They're going to be taking hits at a +3 here. So for bandits, that means we're just going to need a 9. That's an 8. That do it. We got this guy right here. That's a 9 with 10 damage. So that was nice. That takes that guy out of the game. And then back here, my poor Sheik. That is an 11. Yeah, that with a +3, that definitely goes through his defense. He just takes 2 damage though, so he is clinging to life with 1 health left. At least for now, he's surrounded by bandits. Speaking of the bandits, they get to activate here. Guys who are closest, I think, activate first. So this guy's gonna run forward and try and club Nazim. Wow, he does terrible. Nazim gets to strike back with his book. He didn't do much better, but at least he's still alive. This guy will move back. We'll go to this bandit right here, who's gonna move up and swing at my irregular. He's gonna miss. My irregular chops back with a +1. He also misses. We'll go with this guy who's gonna run up and try and club my Janissary and get a big old 8 damage on him. Can my Janissary do something in return? With an 11, he can't. Look at those 1s are hurting me. He gets pushed back. I think this guy's gonna try and come and finish him off. And that's a 13. That's just what he needed. And my Janissary is taken out of the game. This guy still needs to activate. He's going to come up to this cover, and he's going to take a shot across at my infantryman. That's going to be a hit for 8 damage. My infantryman gets to make a little scoop because of that, so he'll go up 2 inches like that. Try and get closer to that cover. We've got one more bandit over here who's going to get to activate, so he's going to hop over this wall, and he is going to take a shot at my irregular. He's going to miss. My irregular is going to move 2 inches towards him. He doesn't like being shot at. All right, I get to activate the rest of my team, so that would be the doctor and these two. My native scout is boldly going to charge up here, and he's going to be able to move 1 inch. He's in difficult terrain now. Try and get that treasure and get away with his life. Doctor has a similar idea about getting treasure, so he is going to move up to it and claim it. That's an ace. My doctor will have a blessed melee weapon for the rest of the campaign. Could come in handy next game. One more activation over here. It's my other irregular. Boy, I don't know if he wants to get involved in this mess, but he's got to try and help out his friends. So let's go for it. So he's going to go 6 inches. He's going to make a run, and that's another 4 inches. He can't quite get into combat, but he can at least get close enough. I will be getting priority for the next turn, and so I'll be able to move some folks again. So yeah, I've got 3 guys I can activate now, and I've got to try and do as much damage as possible here. My irregular here has not fired either of his pistols, so that's the first thing he's going to do, is fire one of his pistols at this guy standing right next to him. That is a 12. That will take this guy out with 8 damage. Next, he is going to make a heroic charge here. I think he's going to go for this guy in the back. He's going to move right up here, and you're going to start this fight. That's a 12 plus 1. Actually, that does go through, but it's only 2 damage. And this guy gets to swing back. With a 13, that's a hit, and that's 10 damage. All I can do is plink at them, and then they get these huge hits. Let's see. I've got this irregular up here. He's going to be important. He is going to fire one of his pistols at this closest bandit first. That is going to go through. That's going to take this guy out. He only has 3 health. And now he's going to try and be a hero and get into combat with this guy. He swings with a +1. That's going to go through. It is going to do 5 damage. Bandit swings back. Please don't roll 10s. Boy, he does do 5 damage back though. That's the end of my activations. The French are commanded to reload. Over to the bandits. This guy comes up to poor Nazim. And thankfully doesn't get it above his defense. Nazim swings back with a book. And actually does 7 damage to this guy with a book. Although I think, so not quite 7. Improvised weapons are -1, so it's going to be 6 damage still, which is not bad for somebody who's equipped with only a book and is on 1 damage, 1 health remaining. So that's going to send this guy back a smidge. This bandit's going to come and try and finish off Nazim. Does roll a 12, but that's not going to be enough. Nazim is going to strike back. That's a 16, and he does 9 damage with that book. Man, Nazim is on fire. He's fighting for his life here, so I can't blame him. This guy's going to come up and swing at my irregular. He's not going to do anything with a 4. My irregular swings back. Hey, there we go. So this guy's gone. And then we've got one more bandit over here. He's going to reload, and he's going to fire at my irregular who's sitting there like a sitting duck. With a 9. It's not going to go through, though. All right, I've got Nazim yet to activate, as well as the rifleman, or the infantryman, and my native scout. My native scout's going to move forward 3 and grab this treasure. Let's see what it is. That's a queen. That's +2 XP for my native scout. That's nice. Give him a little boost. My rifleman on my infantryman doesn't really have a good shot right now. So I think he's just going to reload and kind of tuck behind this cover a little bit. Stay in the game, wait for a bandit to pop out. And then we've got my Sheik over here. So I'm going to, I'm going to use this spell. I haven't used it so far, I don't think. He's going to try and summon a viper. Oh, he does summon a viper. He can place it within 3 inches of himself. And this viper is going to be completely neutral, so it'll go after the nearest character. And that's going to be the end of the turn. It's going to go back around to me, and I'm going to be able to choose, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be able to choose 2 characters to activate first. Nazim's going to take advantage of these guys being momentarily distracted by snakes, and he is going to move around behind this guy and try and bonk him on the head with a book one more time. With a 6, that's not going to do it. The guy turns around and swings back. That's a 14. All right, good try, Nazim. At least you got those snakes out there. Now, one more activation. I think it's going to be my irregular here. He does have another pistol ready to go, so let's shoot it first before he charges in. He's going to shoot at this guy standing around the corner. He's going to miss. That's okay, though. And then he's going to move in his 6 inches and swing. It's not going to be enough. This guy's going to fight back. Oh, and he's going to do 10 damage and take out my regular. So first we've got the French firing. Fire! And they're going to hit anything perpendicular. So that's going to be my poor native scout who's sitting up there. That will be this guy through the door. And it will be this bandit over here again. And technically the snakes, but I'm not going to roll for them because they're pretty much immune to shooting. So we'll start with my native scout who's up there. He's going to get a -1 at least, but it's still a +2 to whatever they roll here. Hey, and he's all right. We'll go down to this bandit. He's getting shot through the doorway. With a +3, he definitely takes that. And he's down. And then we've got one more shot at a +3 coming for this guy. And he's all right. Snakes activate next. And they go for a bite. That's a 15. And that's 5 damage. They actually, they suffocate this guy. They wrap around him. Ooh. One bandit left here. I think he's just going to move around and reload. That's all he can do. He's going to get out of at least get out of the French's field of fire. It's back to me. I get to activate one guy. Things are looking pretty nasty, so I think I will be getting people off the board if I can here. Let's see. So I'm going to go 2, 4, and I've got 2 inches left. And that's going to be it for my first movement. All right, I don't quite remember who I activated last time, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't any of these guys. I always get this part of the game confused. So, all right, so I moved up my native scout. I'm gonna start bringing everybody else back home. Although I get a cheeky shot right here I can take. I guess I have to go for that last bandit, don't I? So he's gonna take the shot. He rolls a double 1. His musket malfunctions and is unusable for the rest of the game. And with that, he will slink away back through the door towards the starting area. My doctor's just moving off the board. He's had enough of this. Okay, it's back to me. I get to move one person. It's going to be my native scout to get him further along here. He may as well go ahead and try and move further just to ensure he can get off the board next turn. French reload. This guy comes up and takes one last cheeky shot over across at my native scout. And he misses. Snakes do their thing. I move off the board. Next turn, I get my native scout off the board. Okay, so that was very bloody. I've got 5 dead members of my, incapacitated members of my warband. I'll have to roll for them to see what happens. And then I'll be ready for the next game of Silver Bayonet Egypt. Thank you for watching.